Hello and welcome. I'm Exit Light, and this is my podcast, Enter Night. And I have my co host, Rob. How are you, Rob?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you on this wonderful first day of April?
Well, I can tell you that my husband is extremely excited right now because we just launched a rocket to the moon.
Hey?
Yes, the United States 2 seconds ago launched a rocket to the moon, and my kids and my husband love everything about that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I'm happy for them,
Yeah, I'm happy for them as well.
and I'm doing fine. Okay, so we only have 40 minutes, so
Yep.
we're gonna knock this out. And I want to thank everybody for coming. Please leave a thumbs up. Please leave comments. It really helps my channel, and that way we can have more podcasts and how do more of the things. Oh, and subscribe. Most people who watch my videos, they don't subscribe. So please do. It only takes a minute. No, it doesn't even take a minute. It takes a click. And then you can be notified when my content goes live.
You don't get anything free in this life, but this is free.
Totally free. Completely free. And before I get started, real quick, I want to say that my next video coming out is going to be a bizarre, twisty update about the missing General Neil McCaslin case. That a total of 8 scientists and lab workers have now been declared missing or murdered, or one died under mysterious circumstances. Obviously, you don't go missing unless it's mysterious. So come back for that. Okay, actually, this is coming out after that. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, Rob, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are talking about something that is from someone who's from the UK. I can't even get my head around the the first shooting, wasn't it? The first in a school. I think you said that there'd been some in some universities and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
this was the first school shooting.
Yeah, in a K through 12 school, which is what they call them. It was a high school, but they call it a K through 12. Yes.
And do you know what I realised today, Tracy?
Huh.
If I've got it right, April the 20th, weren't it?
Mm-hmm.
1999.
Yep. It's coming up on the
That's
anniversary.
I know that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's
27
that's
years.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it's even crazier that the school looks the exact same. It so this was the video that I had talked about not telling anybody about. I told everybody about the Denver airport. I told everybody about the Stanley Hotel. And then I said that there was a video coming that I wasn't going to tell anybody about until it came out because I didn't want to hype it, you know, like, oh, look forward to this, because that feels a little disrespectful. Um, but my husband and I went to the school, and something I did not put in the video is that we were taking photos outside of the school. And two, what I assume were teachers, walked out of the school, and I believe it was a Sunday. Yes, it was a Sunday that we were there. And they walked out of the school, and we thought it was good for us to go on a Sunday because there wouldn't be any kids, and you couldn't get like teenagers' faces, and
Mm.
and not be creepy taking photos of a school with a bunch of kids out, especially a school with that kind of history. And so they walked out, and as they were walking out, we started walking towards the door. And not only us, but another couple started walking towards the door, thinking, oh, it's unlocked. Well, one of the teachers ran back and locked the door really quick so we couldn't get in. So I almost got in to take photos of the library where most of this happened in the school hallways because I took photos of that day. No, I put up photos of that day and then I took photos that matched the exact same location. So you can see what it looked like then in the middle of basically a war zone and what it looks like now, which is the exact same. So we almost got in to do that. And I I had braced myself because I knew that going into that would be very dark. Even though it's been 27 years and thousands of children, teenagers have gone through that school, it's still, to me, you can feel it, the fear and the darkness and whatnot. But so we just took the outside photos. And they say on the door it says no tourists allowed. So I suppose they must get a lot of people that want to take pictures.
That's well, yeah,
But its infamy is that it was the first of its kind. Um, it nobody there had been a couple of university shootings like in the 60s and 70s, I believe, maybe 70s, 80, 70 and 80. It doesn't matter. Long enough where it wasn't on anybody's mind that this could happen to um, a high school just out of the blue. And it, in my personal opinion, it changed it changed this country, but I'm not sure that it changed it in the way that it should have. I think that it ended up changing it to the point where school shootings barely get a day or two in the newspaper anymore, or the news cycle
that's
anymore. It's
absolutely
so
unbelievable.
common. And I think the statistic was that they have 6 school shootings a year.
Yeah,
And then the last major one was here in Texas,
yeah,
Uvalde, where the police officer sat outside for 77 minutes, and a parent of one of the children in the school had been on his way home from being a border patrol agent, and it was him and his friends who ended up getting in the school and stopping the situation, saving the kids. Not even the police that had been out there. And I showed a picture of one of the cops in the school looking on his cell phone, like he was waiting for his
well,
order at McDonald's.
I was when I listened to the video and I was taking notes. When you got to the end, near the end, when you're talking about that, what you just mentioned there, and you also say about nothing's been done,
Mm-hmm.
bulletproof glass, and the other precautions that could have been made.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have wrote, I after I wrote this, I didn't write anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, two things actually. It all comes down to money,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
there is something fundamentally wrong in America. I'm sorry. That was my. There is something fundamentally wrong in America, and you know I love you and your family, and it's no way casting aspersions on you, but you must feel the same.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I think it does come down to money because um, states would spend a lot of money on putting up new doors that can only be opened by a code or a fingerprint that bullets cannot pass through, to install those windows that bullets cannot pass through, or to put up safe rooms in a classroom that
Yeah,
the children and the teacher can hide behind that cannot be entered without the teacher's thumbprint or fingerprint from the inside. Um, or somebody high up might have a code, but it's not in case something was to
Yeah.
happen to the teacher. But
Yeah.
um, uh, you know, neighborhoods, rich neighborhoods here have guards standing at a gate.
Yeah.
You get to show
Seen it
your
on
ID
TV.
to and stuff, right? Our schools don't have don't have that. Some do, but they're not going to be a problem for the person who's intent on coming into that school. Just a guy who's supposed to be a security guard. There needs to be more done, and I think that it does come down to money, and it to me is disgusting
Mm.
that money is more valued than children. And the Sandy Hook um, case where you saw in that picture all those babies, they were babies, 6, 7 years old, uh, mowed down, and everybody went nuts because how can this happen? And this, the perpetrator in that case didn't particularly have a reason. He did go to the school when he was in grade school, but that, I mean, is that a reason? So, and he had killed his mother and taken her guns.
Yeah.
And everybody thought, well, this surely this is it, because this isn't even high school kids, which is, I know it's a terrible thing to say. These are fourth graders. These are 7, 8 years old, and younger. And some of them, they could not identify the bodies because of the powerfulness of that weapon.
Yeah.
They had to do DNA samples, and nothing. There was nothing. The federal government has not put any mandates that say that schools have to provide, states have to provide this, that, and this intervention. That 25 feet away from the school, there needs to be like maybe a um, metal detector, the kind they use at the airport,
Yeah.
the real kind that shows what you're carrying
Mm.
on your body, rather than just, oh, there's something metal, and so you can take your watch off or something. You know what I mean? It needs
Yeah.
to show what is being carried in, so that can be seen, so that alarms can
Like
go
an
off.
X-ray machine.
Yeah, so that alarms can go off immediately in the school, and the school can be shut down, the front door shut down, before that person gets a chance to even walk the next 25 feet into the school. And I mean, there's so many things that could be done. Some schools have staff and teachers carrying weapons. The insanity of that is
Yeah.
they are working in a government building to teach our children. Not only do they teach our children, they oftentimes spend more time with their teacher during the day than they do their working parents.
Mm.
They are fundamental in raising our children. They should not have to teach math and then get into a gunfight with somebody who has a much stronger weapon than the
Yeah.
pistol they're allowed to carry, and expect them to be expert marksmanship
Mm.
with all that adrenaline and everything. That is ridiculous.
Mm.
And it obviously puts them as a target. And then how are they going to protect their kids? They can't. They need to be
Mm.
in that room with their children, behind a door that's impenetrable, and windows that are impenetrable, or a safe room that's impenetrable, something.
Mm. Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. And we don't elect the people who will do that. And it has nothing to do with taking away your guns. Okay, keep your guns, lock them up. If you have somebody in your home that has and it's mostly, sorry to say this, young white males, the majority. If you have somebody in your home that is expressing these types of ideations, get them help. Make it mandatory to get them help. If the school notices it, make it mandatory for the school to get them help. If you don't, there was a shooting in I think it was Parkland, and the parents of that boy who showed signs and yet was still given a gun as a gift and
Oh,
access to guns.
gee.
His parents went on trial and they're in prison now.
Good.
Yeah, hold
Sorry.
these people responsible. Now, not every case looks the same. Sometimes, like in one of these Columbine shooters, the mom and the dad were both doctors and psychiatrists. They thought they were doing everything right. Their son made a friend and started becoming a little bit more reclusive and wearing, dark dusters and dark clothing. And but they said that he didn't. They didn't. Of course, they didn't imagine the kind of violence that was brewing in that relationship. And I watched a documentary about his mother and his and it wasn't the same case as giving the other shooter who showed the signs a gun. And then the school called the parents and said, listen, your child brought a gun. They didn't even bother to go to the school. Um, they didn't say, the school didn't say he needs to go home. They it was a cluster F all across the board. And we got to do better than that. We have to do better.
Well, I've got a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Yes, please
Um,
do.
one of them, I don't. I'm gonna ask this question, but before I do ask the question, it's not meant. This question is not meant to offend anybody. It's a question,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you sort of touched on it just before, when you said about um, the shooters are mainly young white boys,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you think that if these shooters were all black kids, the police would be doing more to stop this?
I don't think that I can
Is that
answer that.
sorry?
I I think it's a logical conclusion to come to, Rob, that the situation would be much different.
Right.
Or if
So,
they were young Muslim men,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think the situation would be much different. We have seen shooters who were of a different race or religion, and the press covers it much differently. They go directly to mental health with
Mm,
these white males, mostly white middle to upper class males. They go directly to their mental health. And in the other incidents, it's the mental health issue tends to not be brought up. And it's excused. I want to say excused. Well, maybe excused as a failure in the mental health department of things. But it's way, 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 way more than that. I mean, it is a
mm,
failure in the mental health part of things. I agree. But I do think that if it was, I, I do think that you're onto something. You know what? Does it matter if somebody gets offended by this? No. If I lose some viewers because of this, some subscribers, that's fine. I'm allowed to talk about my personal opinions. And if, somebody doesn't like it, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for any time you spent here. Have Godspeed to you. Um, but yeah, I think it would, I do think that it would be a completely different situation. I think it would be described completely different.
Yeah.
Um, I think that their families would be scrutinized.
Yeah.
Um, their religion would be scrutinized. Nobody's scrutinizing the white Christian males. Okay.
No, that's what I was when I was listening today again to the video, um, and knowing the little bit that I do know, it's just something that popped into my head, and I had to ask it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you don't mind.
Of course not.
Um,
Of course not. Anybody, well, anybody in the United States should be asking themselves that. Anybody outside of the United States has got to look at us like we're insane.
yeah,
That how does this keep going? What is wrong with you? Your children are not your priority? And no, no, they're not.
it's just when you're not from America, it is so hard to get your head around what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It really kids going into schools and shooting the pupils and the teachers over and over and over again. It keeps happening,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like someone put a comment on the video today. It was a good comment actually. I read through the comments, some of the comments,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, um, I'm paraphrasing now because I can't remember exactly,
Okay.
but basically he said they should have knocked the school down and rebuilt it somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that might have been Mark.
Yeah, that's what they would do in England. In the UK, they would knock that school down and
Yeah.
they would build a new school, or they would build a new school and then knock the school down
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Uh,
because and put some kind of memorial there or something.
yes. Yeah. When I looked it up, when I was in Colorado, I looked it up, and then I asked, "Is the school?" I Googled, "Is the school still the same? Has it been rebuilt?" And no, it hasn't been rebuilt. And I thought that can't be possible. I
Yeah,
do think that they maybe did something to the library, but the outside of it, as you can see in my current day videos, it's the exact same. And there's a huge neighborhood right across the street from it where I'm sure a lot of those kids walked to school and then afterwards had to continue to walk to school. And then their younger siblings walk to school. And now new families are in there and their kids walk to school and they see what I called in that video a monster, the kind that hides under your bed. That's what that building looks like. It should have been knocked down, should have been grazed over, put a memorial up, and build a school somewhere else close by. Um, I can't believe that it still stands there. The the trauma. I if if I lived there, the trauma I would think of every time I drove past that
mm.
building would be
turn,
intense.
turn your stomach, wouldn't it?
Yeah, unless it was absolutely, absolutely 100% necessary, I would to avoid any going there for any reason. And the strange thing is like I told in the video that there's like a whole sports park arena kind of thing like that for outdoor sports and soccer and baseball and and all this other stuff. And they were playing frisbees and walking their dogs, and they had this huge playground that had at least 150 kids at, and they have joggers and hikers, and right over the back of the memorial is a hiking trail, a paved hiking trail right over the back of the memorial. We're sitting there at the memorial, and there was several other people there. It's dead silent, except for you can hear the kids at the playground, which I think makes it even a little worse.
Yeah,
And there's just people riding their bikes over it. walking their dog, just taking walks. And I'm just thinking, how? How
Mm,
is that even possible? I And the fact that the government's website, their suggestion is that we need to make schools a happier place. Literally, my jaw hit the floor. I was looking for, what they put in place. Like, have they insisted that there be certain kinds of doors? Have there been certain that there be certain kinds of um, protection? Police, off-duty police guards, off-duty police officers who stand at every entrance, or you know, safe rooms, and that this is federally mandated that every state do it. And the first thing, and no, there's none of that. It was um, to make the school a happier place. So tell me, explain to me how we still have mass shootings in movie theaters, in temples and churches and synagogues and
yeah,
grocery stores. Um, that Las Vegas shooting, the sheer number of people killed in that Las Vegas shooting. P.S. Has anybody ever heard anything else about that shooter? Did he even go on trial? We have been
yeah.
told nothing,
Mm,
nothing, except for they found like CP, which is child P,
right.
on
Yeah.
like his brother's computer or something, or his
Right.
computer or something. I don't, okay, what does that have to do with it? He mowed down and injured hundreds, and we hear nothing. Zero. How is that possible?
And the government are telling you to smile while you're being shot.
Yeah, yeah. Could you just be a little bit happier at that concert, please? Can you make the schools a little bit happier? What should we do to make the schools
Yeah.
a little bit happier? Now, I get um, cracking down on bullying. I mean, they should crack down on bullying, which comes with cyberbullying. There are kids every couple of months in the United States. The last one was a 9-year-old girl who do these TikTok challenges where you hang yourself for a couple minutes
Oh, you're
and you're
joking.
supposed to get that, pleasure and whatever. That And then there's these children. The youngest I think I ever saw was 8 years old, who was so bullied at school that they took their own lives. At 8 years old, I wouldn't even know where to begin to do that. But this bullying online from these people, these other students at school, and their parents go and they report it and they report it and they report it and they report it. They call the cops get come, and then their child ends up taking their own life. What in the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Bullies need to be cracked down. Put There should be a school separate for them,
Mm,
so they're not coming in contact with the innocent children. They should It should be like a mental health hospital
yeah.
slash school,
Yeah.
so they can get the help they need and be out of the way from the innocent kids in the school who are being bullied, and then they're taking their lives and then nothing happens to the bully. How is that possible? We got to do better. And they said in the Columbine shootings that those two boys, I really don't want to say their names, um, they said that they did this because they were bullied, because they were different, because they were wearing the black and the trench coats and stuff, and they were bullied, and they were going to show them who's boss. So, yes, crack down the hell on bullying. And it's only gotten worse with the internet.
Yeah.
And they text them and they tell them to take their lives. You're worthless, take your lives. And these small children believe it.
Google's parenting our kids.
Yes. Snapchat is parenting our kids.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that bloody thing.
Yeah. So, I understand people have to work. A lot of people have to work two jobs, two family, two parent households have to work. The economy is off the charts. I get that. Do you Your first responsibility is to pay attention to the mental health of your child. And like I said, these people tried to get the school to stop this bullying, and it didn't work. And a lot of states don't allow homeschooling. So even if these kids had gone to different schools, the way things work, you know, word travels,
Yeah.
and they're going to end up likely in the same position at a new school and have the previous bullies still bullying them on their Snapchat.
Just beggars belief. Absolutely beggars belief.
The fact that 600,000 people, children,
Yeah.
600,000 children have been exposed to gun violence in a school, and we're talking about mental health. What about their mental health? Who's
Mm.
protecting their mental health? Can you imagine seeing what these people have seen? These fourth graders saw in their classrooms with their friends that could not be recognized.
Yeah.
What about their mental health?
Exactly.
And then you have these nut jobs who are saying that these aren't even real shootings, that they're some sort of red flag thing where a bunch of actors they did that with the Sandy Hook, and the lead person who did that, whose name shall not be mentioned, uh, radio personality, was sued for almost $1 billion. He hasn't paid a red cent.
Oh, dear me.
So then you have that aspect, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sound very angry right now. I'm being adamant. I am angry because I live here. I have grandkids. I know it's hard to believe. Believe me, nobody knows better than me. That have to do active shooter drills
Yeah.
in kindergarten. 4 or 5 year olds in kindergarten, active shooter drills. How's that on their mental health? You have to hide in case the bad guy comes in with a gun. What? That's really not making the school a lot happier, is it?
No. You know, these young people, especially the young people who are still at the schools where there have been shootings.
Yeah.
What as a parent? I mean, we're both parents.
Yeah.
What do you tell your kids when if they come up to you and say, "Dad or Mum, why does this person come in and shoot my friends?"
Mm.
What do you tell them? They were bullied, so
Yeah. Yeah. Like, just like everybody else who's ever gone to a school, by the way. But of course, like I said, it's amped up now with social media. But a lot of people have been bullied and not gone into a school and done that.
mm,
By the way, we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left.
wow, that's gone quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, I feel terribly sorry for the families of these
Oh,
poor
I can't even
children and the
imagine.
tragedies. They're never going to get over it. Never, ever going to get over this.
Never. Never. I can't even imagine. I can't get over a shooting that was a mile from me, 10
Mm.
blocks, that I had been there that day. My husband and I had been there that day and left. And then the shooting happened. I can't get over that shooting. And I wasn't there in real time.
Yeah.
But now everywhere I go, I mean, like I said in my video, my heart rate was so high that my watch said, you might be having an incident, a health incident. Yeah, because I'm I'm scared. I'm scared when we go to concerts here. I'm scared when we go to any kind of event. I'm scared when we go out to dinner. I always look for an exit. Always. We went to dinner to our favorite Chinese restaurant 3 days ago or something. And we sat down and I was thinking, there's one door in, but there's a kitchen back there. So there must be a door out.
Mm.
And I think that every time I go somewhere.
It's crazy, isn't it? Just crazy.
Whenever there's a large group of people together, it's terrifying.
I worry for the World Cup that's going to be happening in a few months in America.
I know.
But
Well, yeah, you should be.
mm,
Although I bet they have some pretty goddamn good security there.
probably, yeah.
I don't think you're walking in there without going through a scanner.
No.
So probably the safest place to be might be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironically enough.
Yeah. Our government officials should have no security, should have no security guards until they secure our children first.
I agree.
That's my personal opinion. At 1 minute, 48 seconds left.
I've really enjoyed is the wrong word, but it's been very, very interesting. It's been very educational. And if you've got this far in the video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. That was a bit
And
of
leave
a heavy
messages
one.
below if you want to.
Yeah, leave some comments and tell us what you think. If you got any solutions to this problem, have you got any ideas of how? I don't know what to say, Chase. Other than
Yeah.
that,
How things can change. How can we change things?
yeah,
And like I said again, I don't want anybody going, oh, I have the right to bear arms. Okay, great. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what's happening in our schools with these mass shootings. Just so you know, saying it again so I don't get any nastiness. I got to go. It's less than a minute. Um, thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you, Rob, for doing this.
not at all. Thank you, Chaser. Thank you guys for listening.
All right. Good night.
Good night.